As the world deliberates the climate crisis, EAND International is taking action to fight CO2 emissions. And I'm joined by the CEO of EAND International, Mr. Mikhail Gerchuk. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Good afternoon.
Climate change is the most pressing issue of our time. As a global technology and investment powerhouse, what is EAND doing to address climate change?
We at EAND take climate action in fighting CO2 emissions very seriously. We use 3 tracks to fight CO2 emissions and achieve our net zero commitments. First is we use energy efficient equipment. In our countries, we change our network equipment to modern examples that can save up to 50% of energy consumption. Then in remote areas, we use new equipment with high capacity batteries that reduce diesel consumption by up to 40%. So one is using energy efficient equipment. Second is that we use renewable energy. And here again, we have 2 tracks. One is that in our countries, like in Egypt, for example, we buy energy from renewable sources, and then we invest in new solar farms producing solar and wind energy. And second track is that just a few days ago on COP28 in Dubai, we unveiled first 5G standalone fully solar-powered base station together with Huawei. This allows us to operate completely off-grid, completely without electricity connected to the station, fully from solar power. And third area is that we use artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to optimize our operations and to optimize how our network operates. We can predict times of lower demand, and we switch off some of our equipment to conserve energy when it's not needed.
So energy efficiency, renewable energy, and AI are really key here. Tell us about the vision when it comes to sustainability and the commitments that EAND International has made as part of its Vision 2040.
EAND made bold commitments to achieve net zero on our Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions as part of our climate change pledge. On the previous COP meeting, on COP27, EAND made a commitment to achieve net zero on Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions in the UAE by 2030. A few days ago, on COP28 in Dubai, we made additional commitment to achieve net zero on Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions across all our operations by 2040. So we achieve it first in the UAE by 2030, and then in the international operations I'm responsible for by 2040.
So you've really made remarkable moves in the way of sustainability. Would you tell us about the ways in which EAND International is integrating ESG into its business strategy?
ESG is one of 4 pillars of our business strategy. We call our strategy 4D, and it has 4 pillars. One is double down on core. Second is diversify our portfolio. Third is digitize our operations. And fourth one is drive sustainability commitment. So it's one of 4 key priorities of our company. I already mentioned what we do on environment part of ESG. We are very serious about climate action, and we commit to net zero targets by 2040 for the whole group. On social, we actively support communities where we operate in 16 markets where we operate. In particular, we help them in the times of crisis, because in several of our operations in the last few years, we had climate and kind of natural disasters. We had earthquakes or floods. And at that time, we help with free calls to connect with their families in various countries. We also help with restoring network operations, and we donate to various government funds to restore areas affected by disasters. And on G, we committed to disclose our ESG KPIs, our ESG metrics. We don't kind of hide them. We committed to regularly disclose them so that everyone could see our progress on ESG objectives.
Transparency is key. And E&D International has formed a steering committee to address Scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. Tell us about the priorities that this committee has identified and the ways in which E&D International plans to address these issues.
Creating a steering committee was very important to ensure that we include all stakeholders in decision making and then in implementation of our ESG commitments. Now ESG really becoming integral part of our day-to-day operations, and committee is instrumental in making changes happen. We are committed to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We implement our climate action program around energy efficiency, renewable energy, and using AI for increasing efficiency of our operations. We also work on transparency. We committed to regularly publish all our ESG KPIs for everyone to see our progress. And finally, we involve all stakeholders in our ESG decisions. We conduct trainings for our employees. We consult with our board of directors, and we want ESG to become a key topic and key commitment for all stakeholders of E&D.
Wonderful work E&D is doing to combat emissions. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for your questions.